Alright, so this is a team that another admin from the Avengers League was running, and I decided to try running it myself. And, it seems like it's decent in theory, but I was just kind of having a hard time getting it to really just work out well. They run into your usual problems that, the worthy suck to work against, but a team like this isn't too bad. So we should be okay here. Because he's only immune to bleeds. I don't think he's immune to either. And we'll find out what the agent's immune to, so let's take a look. He's not immune to anything, so I'm just gonna do this. Normally I would use the Gore Blade, but this applies a lot of debuffs that we need on it. I already forgot if I ran my bishop team for you guys already. If I didn't, then it's fine. It wasn't that remarkable. Bishop seemed like he's like okay sometimes, and then sometimes he just doesn't do so well. But it might just be the teams I need him with. And it's really strange. Bishop doesn't count as his attacks and his mutant form aren't energy; they're just kinetic. And I had an item that helped energy attacks, but because they're kinetic, they don't count. Which, kinetic is a form of energy. But, whatever, that's science. What does science have to do with a game full of superheroes, right? And yeah, so far this match looks like it's already won. And I only like this one, like the psychic part is kind of crap. But, the off balance, wide open, and all that stuff, that's good. Wide open is what I've added. But the Berserker is mainly what I want out of that skill, which is why I used that over the rest of them. Like, she's not exactly the most damaging person, but she has a lot of decent utility that you could get some use out of. Like, she has a heal. She can disable a lot of things and weaken down people really well. But, her damage is hit or miss. Sometimes it's decent. But if you can actually get her, what's that called? Oh, my memory. It's not working. That Tigra passive that you can stack up. If you can get that, then you're fine. Yeah, see, that's not too bad. This guy doesn't have a lot of stats either. He's stunned. Oh, that's fine. And, that was just, it's not a worthy team, so it's not too much of a surprise to win. And yeah, we're getting a little close to the time, so probably my next few matches will be a serious team. I did get Deathlock's AISO, both of them, now. But the AoE one doesn't seem to work. I think it's bugged. And by think, I'm nearly 100% positive it's bugged. Because it's not... Oh, yeah. It's not applying, to everybody. Like, it looks like it highlights everybody, and then it throws a grenade at one guy. That's really strange. And, it's been out the whole Spec Ops, so you would expect them to have addressed that by now. Yeah, like there's some things I just can't remove from my agent at this point. Like, I have to have. Goodness. The techno-organic endoskeleton, because there's just no a tiger sphere. That's what I was thinking of. There's just no way you can get around it at this point. It's become so necessary that you're just stuck. Like, do you want to be bleeding to death or mind controlled or some other nonsense? Like, it just protects you against so many things, and there's really nothing else in the game quite like it. So it should be. It's still on. Okay. So we'll just hit him with this. So this will apply it to him, and then I'll hit him. Oh. Yeah, this, if you don't have a gore blade yet, don't waste time farming for anything else. It's seriously like one of the best weapons in the game. And you know, I don't say that terribly often for a lot of things. But if there was like a top like 10 list, it's top 10. Mainly because, you know, Skeptic. I was trying to say Skeptic and Hexenjäger at the same time. See, that's supposed to be a chance to happen. I've seen it literally not fail. That's not a chance when it doesn't fail. That's the opposite of chance. That's guaranteed. You know? It's really annoying. I would like to not be totally screwed over every time he gets a turn. And it's not like you can counter him or do anything to him, really. He just, you know, goes and screws you up. I'm despaired. Or malignant poisons. Yeah, malignant poison. Yeah, and that should be pretty much it. Just give him the feet. Alright, it's looking actually pretty solid right now. I haven't changed anything from earlier, and it wasn't working that well earlier. So this is actually a bit of a surprise. I think the glider and the gore blade may be a bit excessive, but I'm not sure what else to really do. And I would like to actually finish the set for you guys before the season ends. No, not gonna question. It's Ghost Rider. But I don't know. Maybe it's good. Maybe he knows something I don't. That totally threw me off. I haven't seen a Ghost Rider in a long time. I should check. What EISOs does he have? So, vulnerable to hollowed. Like the only person in the game. He doesn't. Yeah, he has bruiser benefit. Okay, okay. So hitting him will give him buffs. Alright, so right now I can't really do much. So I'm just gonna swing at him. I mean, he's resistant to debuffs at the moment. I think that makes him winded. Pretty sure. Yes. Oh, but he can't be debuffed until now, so we're good. And I don't remember what he's immune to, because it's been years. I think he's immune to burning. Half damage from non-magic attacks. Okay. Yeah, that sounds pretty decent. Because most people aren't running like full magic teams or nothing like that. Could be potentially good, I guess. Alright, so now we're feared for the entirety of the match. So let's go. Let's do this. So I already have Berserker, right? Yeah. So we really want to kill her because we don't want to be debuffed for 20 years. She's immune to that. And someone's running a Sinister Scepter. Are you serious? That's been a long time. Like, I guess it's still decent. I don't think it's good enough to really want to run, though. Because, you know, it's unremovable, I believe, the astral form. So that's decent. No, this is intangible. So, and that is removable. Okay. Well, I don't have an item to remove it. But it's good to know that if I did, totally could. So, I decided to attack him because I think if she swings, my agent should respond. And I want to make sure that they both will be punished for attacking. Okay, that's not too bad. Is he off balance? I don't know. Oh, can you only have Marco Zemo on one person? Probably only have it on one person. I haven't even checked. Alright, but let's just, let's actually just kill her. So we can not be feared. And she has back for more. Oh, no, she doesn't. Okay, good. Alright. So, he's still intangible. And we're just gonna throw stuff at Ghost Rider. That seems decent. Yeah, so this is an easy match. That's not too bad. And honestly, we just have to wait for him. We can do this, and then we have to wait. I wonder who MHA is. There's so many Avengers groups out there that there's no way in the world I can remember who everybody is anymore. Like, if you're not Avengers League or the new Avengers, oh, what are the other ones? Legendary Avengers. You're still intangible? Are you kidding me? How long are you intangible for? I should have healed. I shouldn't have did that. If I die from dots, I'm gonna scream. Wow. So this gives me a little stamina. Doom. Only took 6. There we go. Wow, that was kind of close. I don't like it. I don't like it. But we still won, so I mean, take what we can get. Also, the other thing about this Spec Ops, there's a bunch of AISOs and AISOs I want, and they're just not dropping. And I'm kind of afraid, like, you know, if you play and it shows up in the roulette and you don't get it then, you know, there's a chance it's just like, okay, now it's just gone. Like, you'll never get it. And that's kind of annoying, because the first time they put in AISOs and EISOs and stuff into Spec Ops, they put them in the store when the Spec Ops was over. So it's like, okay, well, if you didn't get them here, you can just buy them. And then they decided, you know what? Fuck them. You know, like, they're just not doing that anymore. And they made that decision awfully quick, but it's like, you know, I can spin the roulette like a billion times and never get anything close to what I'm looking for. And that's a bit upsetting. Like, too many of the things in there are so good that, like, you don't want to go without them. Like there's one that has a chance to prevent interrupts, and I heard that might be broken. Yeah, surprise, surprise. But I have to actually take a look. I'm not really sure. I don't have it, so. Right, well, I can't get around her, so we're not even gonna bother. He didn't have despair on, so that's kind of weird. That seems to be almost mandatory at this point. Like if you're not running despair, you're just making it a little hard on yourself, running Karuth without it. Alright, so... Alright, so back for more is activated. Alright, so now we can actually do some damage. Oh, maybe not. We're gonna throw it at the guy that I don't have any sort of advantage against. Amazing. And notice, like, recently, like, a lot of people, you know, from multiple groups are always like, oh, I need weather control device, oh, I need cube, oh, I need X and Y. And you notice that, like, I've been running without weather control. Well, this is, like, one of the few times I don't have weather control device, but I've been running a lot without the cube for, like, probably a year. Because it's really not as good as everybody's acting like it is. Like it's good. I'm not saying it's a terrible weapon, but to me it's only really useful on tacticians because they can get the bonus turns. And if you can't get the bonus turns, then you kind of eat up your turns just to use one function of it. Like if you want to use the Blackest Void, well, that's your whole turn, unless you just have some other quick action gear sitting there. And a lot of the quick action gear is support based, so you're like doing double support in a turn, which, you know, it's not bad. Support's good, you know, if used right. But do you always want it? Probably not. Beast is one of those characters that I really... He's like, I'm just never enthusiastic to see him. He's not something I lose to, but he's something that confuses me because people are still using it. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, why would you still use this guy? Like, I think he's outdated. And I really wish... I know I've talked about this a long time ago, but I wish they would take regular Beast and specifically update him and make him into something different. And why you aren't protecting is beyond me. He might have it stealthy, but that poison's going to be a major pain. But we will use our glider. And that's honestly like a really good weapon that I've never used before. I've had it for a long time, and for Kraven, that's like a necessity item, I think. Like if you have that, it just really enhances his ability to fight. Because he gets poisons and bleeds just for free on something that doesn't even bother your agent to use. And for her, it's the same thing. She benefits from both poisons. Like, I think... Okay, so she has a chance to not die. Reduce damage from poisoned attackers. And... follow-up attacks on poisons. Plus she has some sort of bleed synergy, too. I guess not. It's just poison. So that would make it kind of lame against Karuth, but it's still effective against most other people. And she's got many different types of poisons, which is really helpful. And each one of them severely reduces some sort of damage. So like if I was fighting somebody who was particularly high damage, like a Spitfire or something, I would just stab her with the melee one and she'd be pretty much finished damage-wise. Like 40% is a lot of your damage. And if you magnetize them and do a whole bunch of other debuffs on top of that, they're pretty much finished. I just want to hit him with the Gore Blade. Because this will probably finish him if he tries to swing at me with anything. That's that new claw, I believe. I haven't seen anyone use that. At all. It seemed like it was a cool weapon. But I mean, your agent would have to be part of some sort of serious bleed setup, and then you would have to probably not take Goreblade, because you want two weapons that kind of do about the same thing, except this one heals you and the other one, I think, boosts your damage. But to have an attack and support in one weapon that has no cooldown, I mean, it's not really a question. It's just, oh, I'll take that, please. So kind of just gets rid of any purpose to doing anything else. And I'm actually surprised. I'm winning all these matches. These are dragging out kind of long, I feel. Because, you know, we're doing our 5 and we're at 22 minutes now. Just, alt-tabbed real quick. And I mean, it's kind of lengthy, but they're winning. I mean, like, that damage isn't high, but she's probably a little bit debuffed. Because you know how these guys are. They just spam you with the debuffs until you get upset. So, yeah, so her attack was knocked out. She is weakened. Probably because he just touched her with anything, because that's just kind of how he works. And that's it for him, so. I don't even think I've used her heal like one time. I forgot she had one. It hasn't really been necessary because these matches have been so easy. And to be honest, it's a lot of, you know, I feel what the agent's doing more so like than what she's doing, because she's really just swung for a little bit of damage here and there, and then a couple of follow-ups. Like, okay, that's cool, I guess. But like, you know, he's putting out quite a bit of damage. The agent is definitely, you know, he's always just carrying his weight now because agents are just so OP right now. And they're going to be OP forever. I mean, there's not going to be a time where the agent's not going to be the best character in the game, because they're pretty much the ultimate counter to the meta, because you just give them whatever counters the meta and they do it. It's that simple. But let's collect our things, and I'm on the 6th box, so let's hope we get a comic. Yeah, that's a duplicate. But I can only get 2 more on this one, and hopefully I can get him soon, because I did want to run him before the season's out. But it looks like we'll have to run him next season, because I really do think he looked like he was pretty decent. And, you know, of course I'll put my rating up to be sure I get Cloak and Dagger, because they're looking amazing. Yeah, they look pretty amazing. But, looking through his stuff again really quick. A chance to counter with collapsing infrastructure, you know, that would be good. Chance to avoid melee attacks, you can't really go wrong with that. I don't know what making waves is. I'll have to look it up. Eh. Oh yeah, internal bleeding, that's always wonderful. Purged. I mean, Purged is so corny. I'm actually kind of tired of them giving it to people. Collapsing infrastructure, yeah. Shell shock, yeah. But weakened and dizzy, and I'm like, oh. Like honestly, that's your damage going with the scroll of Riddimaroth. You're just kind of screwed. And okay, so he's like a Paragon and Bleed type guy. So we'll just match him up with either one of those that we can find, and he ought to be all right. Yeah, that's it. Cause it's actually time for me to go to bed. It's early here, or late or something. I don't know. It's time for me to go to bed. So good luck in PvP though. I'll try to come up with something different tomorrow. And if I actually didn't make a bishop video, then I will make a bishop video. Because I think he's worth talking about, because he's not awful, but he's not great at the same time. I guess I'll just go over it really quick. So, I really hope I didn't play him already, because then this is just kind of going over the same stuff. But, okay, so he works really well with the Bruiser EISO. And he has his own EISO, but the Big and Fast is pretty good too. So, he takes reduced damage from a lot of different forms of energy. So, like kinetic. So that's like, if he fights Cyclops or himself, those are kinetic. Energy is literally all over the place. But it includes things like Dark Energy Blade. Everyone's got one of those. Certain other ranged people generally have energy attacks, but they're not so uncommon that you won't see them. Psychic, so if you fight like Emma Frost, of course. But Luna Sea counts, and that's pretty common. So if they hit you with Luna Sea, then you get your energy manipulation passive. And elemental attacks. So if you have either the blaster suit, the new one that's not out yet, so you don't have it. But if you have that, the scrapper suit, which is electricity, or the ice suit, which is the bruiser one, and you swing at him, you just gave him energy and you're doing less damage, guaranteed. So that's actually pretty strong. If you're running a static team, you're everything that they do is elemental. You're giving them potential energy. Yeah, I mean, there's so many things in the meta that do it. Like, it's kind of hard to avoid giving that to him. And then he can just go through and use these attacks, which honestly they need some modifiers. I mean, these are literally just damage. And if they're just going to be damage, they could probably stand to have a little bit more on them. But yeah, like his damage is pretty good, which is really strange. And he does get extra turns, I believe, when you hit him with an energy attack. It's either that or it's just Big and Fast. I'm not sure. I got to double check that eventually. But just that fact alone, like, since most of the things in the meta are something that he can work off of, if you give him the EISO, the Bruiser Elite, that stacks up your damage. He's 15, turn your class bonus on. And then you just beam people. As long as you weren't seriously debuffed, like in the attack department, the amount of damage you'll output is actually pretty crazy. And I have this, of course, catastrophic, because you don't want to mess. But then you could just, like, start blasting your team down, like, rapidly. And I've even had some matches where like he would get the first turn and like wipe out 2 or 3 people just straight out, and it looked really stupid. And that's the main reason why I started running him. Now the issue is I'm not sure what to really do with the agent, because now you don't want the agent to protect because you want him to get hit. But he's not necessarily going to protect everything. He's only going to protect certain things. And it's only a chance to protect, which is super annoying. Because, like, if he just always protected those things, that would be more useful. Because when they made Red She-Hulk, I don't think hers is a chance to protect. Yeah, it's all single target radiation and energy. But you can't run him with Red She-Hulk because then she'll jump on the way of all of them. So he doesn't exploit anything except for buffs, and that's on his first skill. He has Boon Buster. I think he's the first guy to have it. I mean, I don't know. It actually might be Deadpool, the first one to have it, but he's the second. Let's just say he's the second. But I don't know. I just don't feel like he's consistent enough for me to really want to run. But he can still get quite a few wins out of him. So if you want something a little different, a little more interesting, I guess, you can give Bishop a try. But don't really. I don't know. It might just require a really offensive armory. Which, if that's the case, then you risk him blowing up. So I don't know. He's a bit of a risk, but he can work. And being able to work is decent. And if I don't have a Bishop set up tomorrow, I may have a Juggernaut set up. Because it's been a long time, and he's immune to psychic, so you don't have to worry about him being possessed. That would be useful. But alright, I've already dragged on for way too many minutes extra, so we'll continue on tomorrow with a new team. I might do a Juggernaut team, I'm not sure. We'll just see. I'll let you know. See ya.